Hello everyone, welcome back to Triumph Trust FX channel. Today I'm going to be talking about how to effectively trade an order block using the smart money concept. I'm going to explain into detail how you can possibly take this trade without making it too complicated, just keeping it simple, right? So I'll be sharing a trade. I'll be explaining through one of the trades that I took this week with us. Then from them I'm also going to share some other trades that I took with this strategy and other setup for this week, right? Okay, look at this. This is AUD card. This is one of the trades we took this week, AUD card. Now if you look at this is a 4-hour time frame, and you see this rejection. This is a huge rejection. Had a huge rejection, and price just continually moved up with a bullish move like that. So when I saw this, I knew that price may come back to this rejection, because after this rejection, we saw that before the rejection we saw that price was on a bullish trend at this point. So after here, we have here taking out these highs, and price created this new high and dropped down to this level, but could not take out this low, moved away, broke structure, market structure, and I was expecting a pullback to the zone. Then I'll need to get an order block here for me to take this entry. So for me to get a valid order block, I dropped to a lower time frame, and on the 30 minutes time frame I got a valid order block here. Look at it, the last bearish candle before this upward thrust, having an engulfing pattern, and price moved away to break structure, as you can see on a higher time frame. So if you can identify these areas where we have this rejection and price push away, then coming back to a lower time frame on that rejection and seeing a valid order block, price will tend to come back to that order block, then take to buy or sell from that order block as the case may be, right? So this is, I'm going to take us through how I took this, I saw this setup and how I traded it, right? So this was when I saw the setup. I saw this rejection and price pushed away, and when price took out this high, I just dropped to lower time frame, and when I got to the 30 minutes time frame, I saw this nice order block. I mark it out, which is also where I marked here. That is the full order block. Now from this order block, if you decide to take an entry here from this point to this lower level, is going to be a huge stop loss. So from there you can as well drop down below 30 minutes to look for another valid order block in a lower time frame that will give you a stop loss that is not too huge. And that is how I got this entry. So now you can take the entry in two ways. You can either take the entry once price hits your order block, your refined order block, or as price hits the zone, you look for further confirmation for a bullish buy, a bullish setup before you buy. But on this, I took my snapper entry here on this marked zone. This is a lower time for 5 minutes order block on this level, and this is what happened. Price was dropping. At this point, I posted this on my general Telegram group, and congratulations to as many that took this entry. So this is when price hits the order block and my entry was triggered, and that was it. Started reversing immediately. So at this point, this is from 899, and price, this 899 price has moved up to 920 at this point, and this is it. So the price continued to, this is okay, this AUD card. So at this point I had already made over 50 pips on this setup, right? So it's as simple as that. Identify a point of rejection at a higher time frame, and price that rejection leading to a break of market structure, and find another block, go to a lower time frame in that a rejection point, then find another block that is valid, then you take your entry from there. Either you look for a lower, refine that order block to a more lower time frame for you to get a snapper entry, or you wait for price to hit that order block and look for bullish pattern or any candlestick pattern, any kind of pattern you may wish to use to take your entry. Now let's look at other trades that we took this week. Right, that's AUD USD, AUD card rather. So this is card CHF, still on 4-hour time. Look at this. You see this rejection, this huge rejection, and price continued to drop until it took out this low. And price has been on a downtrend. So I was expecting price to come to this zone, this level. On the lower time frame, I have my order block here, and refine to 5 minutes time frame to get my snapper entry at this point. And this is what happened. Price started going back up from this point and hits my order block, snapper entry, and that was how price dropped from that point. As at this level, price had already given 20 pips at this level. You see that? And that was how price continued to drop. So you keep it simple. Just keep it simple. Nothing to don't be so complex with so many. Don't make your trading so complex with so many indicators and so many things. Right? Just keep it simple. Let's look at other example. This is another example. Euro NZD. Look at Euro NZD on 4-hour time frame. You see this rejection. As soon as we got this rejection, price continued to move downward. And look at what happened. So price took out this low and pulled back to my entry point, and that was how it started dropping to this level. Then look at this same pair. It went back up and created this rejection. So you see this price moved with an impulsive move, took out this high forcefully. That's liquidity grab. Took out this high forcefully and dropped again. So at this point I had a valid order block on 15 minutes. So there was not valid order block on 30 minutes, but I had it on 15 minutes. It was not valid for me on 1 hour, it was not valid for me on 30 minutes, but it was valid for me on 15 minutes. So I marked it out on the 15 minutes time frame. And see here, after this I was waiting for price to take out these lows for me to have confidence in taking this trade for a sell, and this is what happened. So price actually dropped and took out these lows. So I was confident that when price hits this, I'll be able to sell, and that was how price moved up. And at this point it has not hit my entry, almost there, yeah. And at this point it hits my entry. My take profit is always, my first take profit is always 20 pips. So I grab my first TP at this point, right? And after then price moved further to 70 pips before it started pulling back and start consolidation. Let's look at other examples. So that was for Euro NZD. Then this is GBP card. Look at this 4-hour time frame. You see the rejection. Immediately after the rejection, price continue upward. So I got my order block, a valid order block on the 30 minutes time frame. I was expecting price to get to this level, then I take my buy, and that was it. Price hits my entry, and that was it. This is how far it moved further from the entry point. Then this is GBP card on 1-hour time frame. I got this rejection on 1-hour time frame, and you see immediately after the rejection, you see how price dropped massively. So my expectation is price to move into this order block. I take my sell. This is what happened. Price enter my entry zone, and although this was almost at the end of New York section, and immediately after that price decided to consolidate for a long time. Although from this point from this entry point, price hit my first TP here, which is 20 pips. My first take profit is always 20 pips. Price hits my TP, my first take profit here, and later on dropped down to this level before the close of the week. Then I was also expecting GBP USD for a sell after this rejection and a push to the downside and taking out this low. Was expecting price to get back to this zone for a sell, and this is what happened throughout the day. That day price didn't get there. The next day, which was a Friday, I was expecting price to still go back up here for me to sell, but it didn't get there before dropping to this level. So this is what happened. After here, price dropped throughout the Asian section. Price took out the high of the Asia section and continued to drop. So I didn't take any entry on this GBP USD. This was another setup on NZD CHF. You see the rejection. After the rejection, price dropped and continued to drop until it took out this low, and price pulled back to my order block, and that was it, and continued to drop like that. Then I also had a setup on NZD USD. You see the rejection here. After the rejection, you see price pulled up, took out these highs, and my expectation was for price to get to my valid order block. And NZD USD M30, you see price drop into the entry at this point. So now for my snapper entry, this was a loss, but for confirmation entry, this would have been a successful trade. But this broke through the order block and continue to the upside. Yes, another example on USD CHF. All this trade happened this week. USD CHF on 4-hour time frame. You see this sudden push to the upside and a sudden drop and continue downward, taking out this low. So I was expecting price to come back to this area, then I sell. This is my 30 minutes order block, and so price pulled back to my order block and dropped about 35 pips, over 35 pips here. So my first take profit is as usual 20 pips, and I look forward to the swing low, right? So that was on USD CHF. Then there were other trade and other trade setups that I took this week. Yeah, I was expecting a sell at this point at 0.74146. Price got to that point, dropped nicely at this point. This was a 1 hour time frame, 1 hour setup, and went back up and took me out. So this was when it finally break through the zone. That was a loss of about 12 pips on this setup. This was another setup, Euro AUD 30 minutes setup on 5 minutes time frame. This was my entry point, and price hits the entry point and gave us instant 20 pips. Right, so I first take profit. Then this was another trade I was expecting to sell from this zone, from this rejection, but at this point I saw this nice drop, taking out this low on the 1 minute time frame. This was a 5 minutes setup, and I was expecting to sell here, but price took me out. Yeah, took me out and continue upward. That was another loss. That was another loss of 12 pips. Yeah, about 12 pips on this. So those are the setups and trades taken this week, right? So it's just keep it simple. If you want to trade and make money, just keep it simple. Look for rejection points at swing highs and swing lows, and look for valid order block. You can find them always. Use any time frame, you can certify them, but it's advisable you go for the higher time frame so that you look for your order block in a lower time frame, right? So if you want to get more information about this trading concept, the description to my Telegram group is on the The link to my Telegram group is on the description of this video below. I wish you all the best this week. God bless you.